Ahead tonight, the Prime Minister applauding those who work in the autism community. And coming up in sports, Buddy Hield disappointed about losing the Final Four. The Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition, starts now.
Now in HD. Network presents The Bahamas Tonight. This portion of the news brought to you by BTC Every Day.
Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the weekend edition. Good evening, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, topping the news tonight. Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie announcing that it's only a matter of time before a bid goes out to tender to construct a facility for the Reach Bahamas organization, the group that meets the needs of the autistic community. Mr. Christie, who is the parent of an autistic child, revealed the information at the annual Light It Up Blue Affair marking International Autism Awareness Day, observed annually on April 2nd. Our Jimmy DeSwain tells us which iconic landmark lit it up.
Call it a blue affair for a special cause. International Autism Awareness Day was observed Saturday that saw the historic Parliament building illuminated with blue lights. The much-anticipated Reach organization's annual Light It Up Blue Affair was held in Rawson Square. Among scores in attendance was Prime Minister the Right Honorable Perry Christie, who knows all too well the challenges of raising an autistic child. He lauded the work of Reach and made this announcement.
We have prepared a wonderful presentation on Gladstone Road, to be constructed on Gladstone Road, and I'm hoping that we will be able to go to bid shortly, if not imminently and immediately, towards being able to start construction in the immediate future of what will be the home for Reach and other associations dealing with the disabled. And so this is going to be a place that is multifaceted in its offering, that will enable the kids to be athletic and have some functioning, to be able to have courses in pottery and agriculture. It's going to be a wonderful setting for them.
Mr. Christie recommitted his government's efforts to assist Reach Bahamas determine how many people in the country live with this neurodevelopmental disorder.
The government will use resources and dedicate resources to help you advance the program of determining who exists in our islands and who require help. And finally, with respect to partnerships, the government of the Bahamas will facilitate any form of partnership that cross borders and that will enable the people who are affected to be better off as a result of the partnership. So therefore you can expect Mrs. Griffin, the Office of Prime Minister, to assist you in that regard.
Reach Bahamas Executive Dwayne Gibson thanked donors who assisted in relocating the organization to its new headquarters.
Upgrade of our facility was necessary to accommodate our growing membership and to comfortably house our parent support meetings, which take place the third Wednesday of every month. These gatherings are critical for our base group as we are able to fellowship with our parents, children, and all stakeholders to share information and experiences that assist in the parenting and the rearing of our special needs children.
Autism is marked by varying degrees of difficulty in social interaction, verbal and nonverbal communication, and repetitive behavior. Special Olympics gold medalist in air role believes all autistic individuals need love.
I wish I could answer all your questions in a way you understand, but all I have is messed up pieces that don't fit any plan. All I ask is that you love me, even though blind faith is hard. One day you have the answer. It will be your great reward.
A number of presentations were made. The choir belted a tune, but before the night was done, Parliament was covered in blue lights. Jimmy DeSwain, ZNS Network News.
The Department of Immigration confirmed in a statement that the permanent resident status of Howard Joseph O'Brant of Oceana Heights Limited in Exuma and the endorsement of his wife Donna Susan O'Brant has been revoked in accordance with Section 18 of the Immigration Act. ZNS News understands from persons in the Exuma business community who wish not to be identified that they believe the permanent residency status of Howard O'Brant was revoked because there were far too many complaints by persons who were reportedly misled by the investors who didn't deliver on their promise to provide good titles for their properties. Now, immigration officials gave Mr. O'Brant a short time to wind up his affairs in the Bahamas and will be placed on the stop list. The Bahamas is making final preparations to host the 57th Annual General Meeting of the Inter-American Development Bank and the 31st Annual General Meeting of the Inter-American Investment Corporation this week at the Bahamar Convention Center in Cable Beach. An estimated 5,000 delegates representing the 48 IDB member countries and various business, finance, and economic institutions are expected to attend the high-level meetings here in Nassau. Ministers of Finance from the various member countries serve as governors on the board of the IDB and will lead their country's delegations. IDB Local Organizing Committee's project coordinator Janine McCartney recently explained to us why Bahamians should take note of the impact of this important international conference.
We need our local people to realize that the IDB funds many projects, development projects, school projects, infrastructural projects, and that is why we've had articles in the newspaper. Like sometimes we don't read, but we've had articles in the newspaper explaining what the bank does in the various countries, and in particular in the Bahamas in the last years.
Road safety is a major concern for Eleuthera residents as the island continues to be plagued with serious accidents. Eleuthera police continue to investigate 2 traffic fatalities in 1 week. Government, though, has moved in to address this issue by implementing more safety measures on the dangerous winding roads. Our Clint Watson reports on those changes tonight from South Eleuthera.
The island of Eleuthera has been known for one of the highest rates of traffic fatalities of recent times. It's become one of the deadliest roads, and that's because in many of the communities and constituencies there is no street lights. Furthermore, there are no road markings for motorists to see where they're headed. And that's where Bahamas Striping comes in. Thanks to the government, a contract has been awarded to help alleviate the number of fatalities and accidents on the roads. They've begun that process by striping communities that particularly are dark at night. Talking to one of the residents here on Eleuthera, who of course has witnessed firsthand some of the challenges, tell us, Ms. Gibson, what you've seen on these roads.
I've seen many accidents over the years. There's been so many accidents that's happened, small accidents, big accidents where persons have had to be airlifted, and a lot of it is definitely because there are no street lights. A lot of it is because people don't know what sides to stay on when they're coming around the curves. Eleuthera does have a very, very high rate of second home owners, and there are a lot of visitors that come to our islands and they don't know the roads as well as the residents, and this creates a lot of traffic fatalities and even the small accident.
And so for Bahamas Striping, it's more than just a job. It's reaching out to community. President Atariel Mitchell is here himself with his team. Why is this important?
Well, like Ms. Gibson said, is what we're doing here is actually giving the motorists the lanes to be in at a particular time, and I think that will help make the road a bit safer.
And while these road markings will make a significant difference on the road, officials are still advising residents, those are particularly motorists on the road, to slow down and to be extremely cautious and care, particularly when riding these roads on family islands. In Rock Sound, Eleuthera, Clint Watson, ZNS Network News.
In news from the Daily Crime Report, a man is detained in stable condition in hospital tonight after being shot around 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon. Police report that the victim was on Fire Trail Road West when 2 men armed with a handgun robbed him of cash, a watch, and a cell phone. Authorities say the assailants shot the victim before fleeing in a white Honda Fit vehicle. Then around 6 o'clock yesterday evening, authorities confirm that a man was sitting near a business establishment on Churchill Avenue off Soldier Road when 3 men armed armed with a handgun shot him before fleeing in a green Honda vehicle. Police recovered a .357 handgun from the scene. Police say the victim later died in hospital. Investigations into both matters continue. Meanwhile, over in Grand Bahama, police investigating yet another murder. It's the fourth homicide recorded on Grand Bahama within the past 2 weeks. Italia Hall of our Northern Service reports on police's initial investigation.
Grand Bahama recording its seventh murder overnight. The fatal shooting taking place in the 8 Mile Rock community. The Senior Assistant Commissioner of Police Emric Seymour giving the media an update on Sunday afternoon.
Now, these incidents of homicide are in fact a major concern to us in law enforcement.
The victim was transported to the Rand Memorial Hospital where he later died.
These heinous acts of violence were perpetrated by misguided person or persons who have no regard whatsoever for the sanctity of life or the fellow human being.
Seymour says as of now there is no one in custody, nor is there a known motive for this latest shooting, but police is making progress in the other 3 murder cases. The double murder on Bruce Avenue on March 21st, where Noel Hamilton and Jacqueline Ambrister were shot to death. The fatal shooting of Tramika Johnson at the Smiths Point Fish Fry on Thursday morning, and the fatal shooting of Customs Officer Kevin Hanna outside his home on Thursday evening.
We would have had several persons in custody in connection with that matter. At the moment, there's no one in custody. The second incident, we have someone in custody. That was the shooting in the Smiths Point area. And of course, I would have sent out a press release for the 2 suspects that we wanted in connection with that. One of the suspects has since turned himself in, and the second one, I think it was Sean Sanders, the second one, Tavares Desmond Beckford, is still outstanding. The third incident involving the custom officer, I can tell you as we speak, we have 3 persons in custody.
Seymour says the police department stand and will remain firm to eradicate crime. Police are appealing to the public for anyone with any information that can assist in this investigation to contact them. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Back here in New Providence, police confirmed that an American visitor drowned yesterday. Authorities say the victim, a resident of Massachusetts, was snorkeling in waters off Cabbage Beach on Paradise Island shortly after 10 o'clock Saturday morning when he became unconscious. Despite extensive CPR efforts, doctors later declared the man dead. An autopsy will be performed to determine the exact cause of death. Police here in the capital also investigating 2 sexual assaults this weekend. The first incident happened around 11 o'clock last night when police say a man went to an ATM machine on Prince Charles Drive, leaving a female passenger inside his Honda Civic vehicle. As he was about to re-enter his car, a male armed with a handgun sped off with the car with the female inside. Police say the gunman took the female to an undisclosed area in western New Providence where he sexually assaulted her and later left the vehicle. Then around 2 o'clock this morning, Selective Enforcement Unit officers were patrolling Charles Vincent Street when they approached a male with a female visitor inside a vehicle. The female visitor told the officers that the man had just sexually assaulted her. The officers arrested the male suspect a short time later.
If you know of a crime, please call Crime Stoppers at 328-8477, toll free 242-300-8477. You can also check them out on www.crimestoppersbahamas.com. Let's stop the crime before it's your time.